Sawadee and welcome to another MMA Monday here for the Funkit Pod. It's Monday and you know what it means. We have to talk about all things MMA that happened, that transpired this past week. And there wasn't that much excitement, yet there were a few very exciting moments, of course, in MMA this past week. So without further ado, as always, let's jump right into it. And of course, we start with the number one promotion. We start with the UFC to just check what happened at UFC Vegas 30. And the main event, Cyril Gane versus Alexander Volkov, right? And as I predicted, Cyril Gane would win. Don't check my last podcast last week, where I predicted Alexander Volkov because he's Russian and he has a similar name to mine. That's for people who know Russian. But no, it turned out it turned out to be the way that you could have expected it to go. Derek Lewis on social media called it karate sparring, and lots of people chimed in here. It was a clear, and I'm checking, 50-45, 50-45, 49-46 victory for Cyril Gane. Another UD for him. He's doing this quite consistently. Not very exciting, but it works. So as long as it works, you keep doing it. And he's definitely getting better each time around, right? So who am I to criticize a heavyweight who could kill me in an instant? But again, not very exciting to watch. It's a nice, just as Derek Lewis said, sparring session every time he's around or he's out there. Yeah. But congratulations, maybe one more fight and then he's in a title picture. One or two more fights and he's in a title picture. So good job, well done. If he keeps winning, he keeps winning. We then had in the co-main, we had Tanner Boser versus OSP, Owen Prue, right? And that was, so OSP always, that's his thing, right? He gives away the first round because he's like, man, I don't need the first round. I could just, von Vlu, is it Flu? You know what I mean? I could just OSP them with my OSP submission from Prue. Joke. One, you know what I mean. Didn't work this time. And the thing was, I mean, Tanner Boser clearly, I mean, he's a heavyweight. They fought at heavyweight. I didn't consider this last time when I made the picks, by the way. Totally not on my radar. So it was a heavyweight bout. Tanner Boser, mostly, I think he only fought once in light heavyweight, and every other time around he's on heavyweight. OSP, that was his second heavyweight bout, I believe. So clearly undersized. But then he got him down, or he got him against the cage, but then Tanner Boser did something that looked like a fence grab, and it's very hard to see also in the replay. Does he grab it? It's like just like with the knuckles, some like stabilizing or whatever, pushing against the fence. Hard to say. Later the round, then Tanner Boser KOs OSP at 2:30 of round 2. Yeah, unfortunate for OSP. Congratulations to Tanner Boser, but OSP's team already said they are appealing the decision and they want it to be overturned to a no contest because of the foul, the fence grab that Tanner Boser apparently did. I don't see this happening, to be honest, but I mean, they're going to write this and say like, hey, we actually didn't lose, of course. Another unfortunate finish happened to the Andre Fili fight, Andre Touchy-Fili versus Daniel Pineda. Andre Fili looked really good in this one. I think it was really cool to watch him go out having fun. I think he lost his past 2, if I'm not mistaken. But he looked pretty good there. It was really nice to see. He had the upper hand when he happened to poke Pineda in the eye, and Pineda, you could see his eye. He couldn't continue, so it was the right decision. So no contest at round 2, right in the beginning. Really unfortunate because Fili looked good. Who knows how Pineda would have looked later in the fight. So really sad to see it happening like this. But Fili can be like, well, I look good, so that should give him some confidence for the next fight, I believe. We also had Tim Means, another old man, fighting, and this is not a affront against Tim Means because I'm old too. Versus Niklas Dalby. Dalby also not the youngest anymore, And Dalby had a nice winning streak going there, but Tim Means defeated him via UD 29-28, 29-28, 29-28, so 3 times 29-28. Congratulations to the Tim Means. It was a nice affair to watch, competitive, and Tim Means slugged it out. So respect, so heartfelt, or like congratulations, well done. Tim Means not going anywhere for now, so yeah, I like it. I'm happy with this. That's really cool. And the last fight on the main card, or the first fight on the main card, was Renato Moicano defeating Ty Herbert via RNC. It's just nice to see Moicano doing his thing. I talk about him like he's been like an old guy or something. He's not that old, I believe, but he's just been around for a while. Especially if you follow MMA for a bit, you know Moicano. And it's just nice to see him doing his thing, doing what he does. Well deserved, I believe. So congratulations to Renato Moicano. He's like one of those names that you're just happy to see that when he's doing well. At least for me, that's the case, because he's just been around for a bit. I think one of the stories coming out was that this guy, Justin Chains, who lost, but before his loss, he bet his whole purse on himself to win. So did his coaches. So now that he lost, he goes home with nothing. And the coaches too? That must, I mean, that if that pays off, it's like, oh man, you got balls. But if it doesn't pay off, like in this case, that must suck. I hope he bounces back from this one, and then hopefully gets even more than the next time around. So I appreciate the gamble, but man, So that was UFC Vegas 30. From what I thought is the most important takeaways here. A few more other things happened, and we had BKFC 18. It's like pro wrestling, just like without the wrestling maneuvers, just with punches. So Hector Lombard, right? Yeah, Hector Lombard, still around. Hector Lombard won his championship fight with a like bizarre stoppage in that fight. But then afterwards, his next opponent went in the ring to just like confront him like wrestling style, and right when he goes and gets into his face, Hector Lombard throws a 1-2 combo right at the face, like and it hits. And his former opponent has to pull him away, and people jump in. Like, what the? You can't take BKFC's. You cannot take BKFC serious when things like this happen on a regular. Oh God, I almost swallowed my tongue here when I was talking about what's happening at BKFC. We also had Pearl Gonzalez winning. It was pretty lopsided, so congratulations to Pearl Gonzalez against, I have to look, Charissa Sigala. So yeah, congrats Pearl Gonzalez. Clear decision win. But let's be honest, nobody cares about BKFC 18. Everybody's waiting for BKFC 19, where PVC returns to the promotion in her second bout, I believe, after the first one didn't go the way she expected it, against Britain Hart back then. Now it's PVC versus Rachel Ostovich, which is clearly booked just because of both their superior boxing skills. And yes, this will break the pay-per-view record for BKFC. Does BKFC do pay-per-views? I'm not sure. Yes, so I'm not saying anything else. You can read all the comments online. This should be a fun match, I was about to say. Fight to watch. PVC, Patron Sand versus Rachel Ostovich at BKFC 19. Alright, but we're not only excited about BKFC 19, we also quickly have to look at like what happened at the PFL. Two important fights happened there, I believe. One, Kayla Harrison keeps cruising through the tournament. Again, super easy finish for her. Again, she's like, I'm too good for those girls. No one can handle me, and so on. Which now makes her the second seed, I believe, in the tournament. Yeah, so she's going to take that. More interesting, though, Anthony Pettis misses the playoffs because he lost again. Yes, surprising. I think he was mad afterwards. He mainly lost because he got dropped twice in a round by his opponent, whose name I already forgot. So Anthony Pettis lost via decision. Doesn't work out the way he expected to work out in the PFL, right? Is it a sign that A, Pettis doesn't take it serious, B, the PFL fighters are better than expected, or C, mix of both of those things? Well, who knows? But yeah, definitely not the way Anthony Pettis expected it to go there. Yeah, better luck next time, I guess. Bellator also happened, Bellator 261, and we have a new interim world champion. So there's an interim world championship bout, or has been held, because Ryan Bader, who's the world champion, is still mixed up in the light heavyweight tournament where he wants to become the two-time title holder again. So now interim championship match between Valentin Moldavsky and Timothy Johnson, and the guy who looks like an MMA fighter won. And I'm sorry, I know Timothy Johnson could kill me too, but he didn't appear to be like the cardio machine that he should be. But it's heavyweight, so it's all different. But Valentin Moldavsky outlasted Timothy Johnson there to win this fight. Even though Johnson connected nicely with a few punches in between, like right to the head. I think Moldavsky even wobbled a bit in between. But eventually it was Moldavsky. I think was the protégés of Fedor Emelianenko. I'm sorry, Fedor, it's late here. So congratulations, Valentin Moldavsky. The Russian takeover in Bellator continues. We also saw Liz Scaramouche, who I correctly predicted to run through Kana Watanabe, because that's what she did. She demolished Kana Watanabe with strikes. It's her first, and I wrote it down, first finish via strikes since 2013. 8 years later, eventually Liz Scaramouche, can you do the fandango? Won again via strikes. Congratulations. I never doubted you, Liz Scaramouche. I never doubted you. The second pick that I actually had right in my last show in regards to this Bellator event, Daniel Weichel. Sehr gut. Daniel Weichel aus Deutschland bounced back from his last loss against, who was it, Emmanuel Sanchez, and in the Grand Prix, featherweight Grand Prix. And now he got a split decision victory over Keone Dix, who was, I think, perfect, undefeated until this bout. So congratulations to my main man aus Deutschland, Daniel Weichel. Sehr gut. I should have a German flag here somewhere. Like, I'm waving the German flag, singing the German anthem, because Daniel Weichel is doing his thing. Where are our German MMA fighters actually? Why don't we have more Germans in the UFC or Bellator? One championship is going to change that when they go to Europe, so there should be a few more, not only Germans but Europeans coming up. But yeah, Daniel Weichel, bester Mann. Daniel Weichel, Ehrenmann. Go Daniel Weichel, sehr gut, very good. Happy with this because I predicted it, which means I'm awesome. So is Daniel Weichel. Okay, last main card, or the main card opener, was Christian Edwards, who used to train, I believe, with John Jones, if I'm not mistaken. He beat Simon Biong via UD, is now 5-0, and so keeps being like the prospect that we all thought he could beat. So congratulations to Christian Edwards there. Okay. Then preview-wise, there's not much happening. There's no Bellator event, there's no One Championship event, and there's no UFC event. One and UFC will return the week after. Bellator, I think, is still off a week longer even. So we already talked about BKFC 19. So there's one thing that I want to do now is when I prepared for this show, I ended up on this weekly grind thing that MMA Fighting does. Shout out to MMA Fighting because they need it, obviously. A shout out from the only MMA podcast in the world that is not sponsored by Manscaped. Still balls smooth AF, but not sponsored by Manscaped. And in this weekly grind, they always do like some social media posts, right? And I just saw a few that I thought, because we have the time this time, let's quickly talk about it. So first of all, Miesha Tate is showing off her physique, and oh my lord, Miesha Tate shredded AF. I've never seen Miesha Tate this shredded, and she says herself like best shape in her life. So yeah, her return fight July 17th. Let's see. I mean, she's shredded. Not as shredded, and now, if you haven't seen it, check it out. Sage Northcutt, Super Sage. Yes, he's always shredded, but this last picture, it's the Hulk. It's, oh my god, especially if you look like before and after pictures, it's ridiculous, redonkulous. And he wears like this shirt of his sponsor, like Redcon, whatever it is, horse meat, whatever, send it over here to Bangkok. I want that stuff too. It's ridiculous how big Sage Northcutt is by now. I don't know if he got more muscles in his chin right now as well, because that's obviously where he needs it. But if he fights Shinya Aoki in his return bout, if that comes together, there's probably nothing Shinya can twist, because it's just so many muscles and you can't bend any of those. Ridiculous. The Hulk. The handsome Hulk. Handsome, hashtag handsome Hulk. Sage Northcutt, what you doing? Oh my god. Oh god. Then of course, the most famous Magomedov on the planet, Hasbulla, tweeted a picture where he's posing with Khabib and has like the belt and like this wig thingy that they're doing in Dagestan and celebrating. So Hasbulla still riding his wave, which is cool. The Stylebender posted again pictures with cars. That's the thing that I don't like about Adesanya, that he's like really becoming like this showing off dude. Like, yeah, man, I made it. Congratulations, my friend. But like, why all the bling and stuff? So that's a bit annoying. It's a bit offsetting there, off-putting. But Conor is doing the same thing, of course. Valentina Shevchenko is like traveling and stuff, which is cool, but she always has like those weird like hashtags, like hashtag my summer. Nice, Valentina. Nice. Marvin Vettori posted a picture of him being, I'm assuming, somewhere in the American forest, because he's definitely not going back to Italy, just hiking. My favorite picture that I wanted to talk about, and that's why I'm doing this, is so everybody's posting pictures of like being cool, doing cool stuff, showing off their bling, their mansions, their cars, being out there in the desert or in the forest doing stuff. And then there's the new champion, Brandon Moreno, the assassin baby. And where does he take a picture? In front of a Lego store with a big Lego bag. I love it. Brandon Moreno, you're the man. I hope you're gonna stay champion forever, because this is amazing. He's like, yeah, Lego for the kids, right? So awesome. I just love Brandon Moreno for this, also for not taking him too serious and posting stuff like this. Amanda Nunes also posted stuff of like her baby learning to read or looking at books with her, and so that's really cute. I like this more personal side of things. Kamaru Usman posted a picture of him, I think being in Nigeria or whatever, because whatever. Francis Ngannou posted a picture of him like being in Dubai, posing in front of like the Dubai flag thingy tower. Like, I was like all showing off. I wonder why do we follow those people for those things, but that's a discussion for a different show. The last thing that I wanted to talk about is, and that's why I'm scrolling down my notes, Darren Till. So Darren Till's social media is, I don't know, 80% BS, because he just posts about his sponsors, which is just boring AF. But then the other 20%, when he actually posts something, it's hilarious. And his last post was just about like, yeah, the Instagram took down some of my posts, whatever. But before he was, and I missed this, and I just saw it this week, and it happened like a bit ago, but I'm checking while I'm talking when it happened. But he posted like this video of Brandon Schaub going into the locker room of Logan Paul. It's like, guys, that's a victory. You won. You beat Floyd Mayweather. And then the caption was like, petition to kick this guy out of the MMA community or something like this. So while I hate all those posts about like sponsors and so on, that's the post that we need in the MMA community. So thank you, Darren Till, for this. He posted also about PVC and Rachel Ostovich and said, just in it for the boxing or something like this. So yes, Darren Till, you're the man. I appreciate this. So keep doing your sponsor stuff, even though it's really annoying, but that's definitely kind of cool. Okay, that's it with the review. I'm not going to go through all of the social media posts, just the few ones that I think are very interesting. That's it for this week. Next week will be big, because we're going to preview UFC. We're going to preview one championship. We're going to talk about BKFC. We're going to talk about Bellator if there's something happening. We're going to talk about everything. So for this week, take it easy, stay safe, take care. Don't forget to not use Manscaped because they still don't sponsor us. All right, so that's it for this week. Next week will be big with previews of UFC, One Championship. I know we're looking at BKFC again, maybe even a little bit at Glory and so on. So stay tuned, take care, stay safe, and I'll see you next time. Sawadee Krap.